We're gonna take you into one of the coolest card shops in Southern California. I'm here with Cassius Marsh in front of Cash Cards Unlimited in the Topanga Canyon Mall.
Yes.
If you've never been to this mall, Eddie's gonna show you a few shots right now. It's awesome, it's super high end and fancy and fun. But I'm here with the legend.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Here.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming. You know, Mama breaks at my shop. What an honor. Thanks for taking the drive down. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Come on in. Let's check it out. Let me show you around.
This is like a card shop. Welcome to my cribs.
Yeah, exactly. So when I first wanted to open up the shop, when I was younger, my vision for it was shops were dirty. They smelt. They were people didn't want to come in. It wasn't welcoming. It didn't scream come in and check this out. And I wanted to do the opposite. I wanted to bring a luxury feel and just a feel good type of anybody can come in here and have a good time, find something, So the first couple of shops we did, I think almost did it, but this shop here I'm super proud of. I think it's kind of exactly what I had always envisioned. So super nice and clean, got a little bit of everything. Got all of our collectible stuff, the boo-boos she was talking about earlier, the boo-boos doing the Topps trading cards, that's crazy. We've got One Piece, Lorcana. We've got all this memorabilia that we started bringing here too, which has really been awesome, bringing more of the sports stuff into the mix. And then, we also keep some art. So one of our founders, one of our first investors is an artist, and he does these sports crossovers, which we love, you know what I mean? So we, every type of collectible is welcome here,
So,
Yeah,
Cassius,
there you go.
I know you for two things. I think most people do too.
Two?
For magic,
Yes.
because you're big on magic.
Right.
But you were also a football player.
Yeah, for a little bit. Oh yeah, I didn't even see we had those in there. I gave those to Jan. Yeah.
Tell us about your football career.
I'll just tell you about these two game balls. So that one is just the AFC Championship game. I finished the season with the Steelers. So this season, it's kind of crazy. So this season, it was the COVID year. I played for 3 different teams in one season. I was with the Jaguars. Then I went to play with the Indianapolis Colts. I was with them for 3 weeks. They were bringing me up on their active roster from practice squad. And then the Steelers signed me off the practice squad, and I finished the season with the Steelers. And we actually won the AFC Championship, or the AFC North Divisional Championship versus the Colts. And I had 3-4 tackles on special teams. I went crazy. And then this San Francisco ball, I think I had 2.5 sacks in that game. We just beat the hell out of the Raiders. It's probably my best game that I ever had in the NFL. So yeah, I played for a couple years, 8 seasons. It was a good time, lots of blessings, and it helped me create a brand and ultimately helped me build this. So I'm super grateful for my time in the NFL.
So what hooked you onto cards? Obviously, you have experience being an athlete at the highest level.
Yeah.
So what got you into cards, and how do you feel about sports cards now that you've been an athlete?
So cards,
Professional athlete.
Yeah. So I've always loved trading cards. Early on, it was I started with Pokemon Game Boy, then Pokemon cards released, and I was into it, but I didn't have much growing up. You know what I mean? I didn't have the resources to buy a lot of it. So I didn't have a huge collection, and then Yu-Gi-Oh dropped, and I went I was locked in on Yu-Gi-Oh. I had the decks. I would play in the local tournaments and stuff. And then when I was around 11 years old, I walked into a local game shop in Simi Valley. It's still there. It's called Hidden Fortress. And I asked them if they had Magic, or I asked them if they had Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh. And they said they had neither. They said they were a Magic the Gathering shop, and I had never heard of it before. I sat down and watched a couple guys play, and I was hooked. And I've been collecting and playing Magic ever since. I took a short break while I was in college because I didn't think anybody would be playing. But actually, after my first 2 weeks in college, there were a bunch of people playing. So I was gave away all my cards. It kind of sucked. But yeah, I've been in it forever. And then sports cards have always been a part of the culture, just because my dad played in the NFL, my older brother played in the NFL, and sports have always just been a part of it. And one of my like core memories with sports cards is you remember those remember that series of Michael Jordan cards that came out with Gatorade,
Yeah.
the gold ones with like the you know what I'm saying?
I've seen them.
Yeah. So those, I actually won those. I don't know where they are. I'm sure my mom has them like somewhere in the house. But they were, if you like opened up a Gatorade bottle like and turned it in, you got the whole series sent to you and stuff. So like that was like my first like really core memory when it came to sports cards, And it was always around. I didn't get super into it until like I opened up the store and just started collecting my favorite athletes and stuff. But yeah, trading cards has always been a part of, pretty much always been a part of my life. It's kind of crazy.
Very cool.
Yeah. But all right, we can show you the rest of. Well, I think what we should do is show you the sports section.
You have a Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah.
So you kind of encompass all collectibles here a little bit
Yeah.
too.
So the memorabilia stuff has been like a cool thing for us that, because it's a big shop and like, like I said, I want for people, who aren't necessarily like gonna come in here and buy Pokemon or sports cards or whatever, like moms and sisters and girlfriends, wives, all that stuff, to be able to come in here and find something. The girlies love the boo-boos and album covers. Who doesn't love Taylor Swift? So we've got some fun stuff, and then but obviously the sports section. You know what I'm saying? Did you take a look? You see any solid singles?
I was saving it for the video.
Yeah.
Look at this, and it's nice. I love the display like this. I think this is really taking the hobby by storm, right?
For
Making
sure.
That it's not just a showcase, and you've seen, like you said, I shouldn't say older card shops,
Just
but
more vintage card shops.
more vintage card shops,
Yeah.
kind of having singles all over the place in cardboard boxes, and this kind of like, I think a wild thing for people. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but especially telling people that don't know what this is, what it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild for them to even begin to perceive that a card, especially when you go into a card shop and it's in a cardboard box, it's worth $500.
I know
And
when they're in like the 8 or the 5 rows and stuff. Yeah.
But if you have a card that's behind a beautiful glass with lighting and you tell somebody this is worth $500, it makes a little more sense.
100%. It definitely changes the experience for sure. I love these displays. We actually, I don't know, obviously everybody out here in LA knows Burbank Card Show or Card Shop, and they had some really nice displays that I saw, and we ended up buying some more of those so that we can bring a little bit more of this feel into the shop, because I really do think this just presents the cards in such a great way, you know what I mean? And it speeds up the process for customers to be able to see what's here and, you know what I mean, and see what they like, so.
You got some really good stuff in here.
That's some pretty solid stuff.
Yamamoto, Rookie Auto, Sandy Koufax Auto, Kershaw SPs.
Yep,
Freeman on the Braves.
our operations, our COO is our big like sports guy. So he goes to like all the sports shows to make sure that we keep like the slabs nice and juicy. I follow a little bit, just because like I'm in the business and I love sports, but like he's dialed. Like before we hired him, he was collecting and reselling and doing the whole thing. So it's great. It's fun to have different people with different pieces of the company. Certain people are into Magic, certain people are into Pokemon, sports cards, etc. But the one thing that I have found is that everybody who ends up working for me ends up starting to play Magic.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Anybody who works for me starts playing Magic. They just can't resist.
That is one thing that I have never gotten into, because I resonate with you with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Pokemon's where I started, and Yu-Gi-Oh because of the TV show.
Yeah.
And I woke up super early every Saturday to watch Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was
Amazing.
crazy. And my brother, I remember, collected a lot of it and had tons of it.
Yeah.
But Magic is something I never really got into.
Did you play the game? Did you play Yu-Gi-Oh at all?
Not
Were
really.
you just collecting?
That was more of my brother's thing, but I
Okay.
did love the cards.
Yeah, the cards were cool. Like, I think where Yu-Gi-Oh got me, like the early version of Yu-Gi-Oh was really, really good with the gameplay.
Okay.
Like super, super good gameplay. And now I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. But when I started playing Magic, I was like, oh, this is why they made trading card games, because it's just perfect, It's just like super complex, super interactive. It's like the hardest game on the planet. Like it's harder than chess.
Okay.
It's game theory, game strategy, just all that type of stuff. And I never get tired of it. I've been playing since, like I said, since I was 11 years old, and it's always really fun. And I don't know, man. It's just always been a part of my life. It's pretty cool.
So what's your like pitch to someone to get into Magic?
My pitch to someone to get into, if you like gaming, like if you like game theory and game strategy, and you're competitive, and like you like exercising your mind, like if that's something that you do in other parts of your life, I think that you'll like Magic.
Okay.
Especially if you're like a gamer person, if you like anime, if you like anything like anything fantasy, if that's like a world that you can feel connected to, then like Magic can, like, you'll like the game. Like, I've never met anybody that's like Magic's a terrible game.
Okay.
Everybody says the game is amazing, and then there's other parts of Magic that, like, you know, maybe the fan base is a little frustrated with, but the game itself is incredible. To me,
Okay.
it's the best game that's ever been created. So
You think like poker players would like Magic?
a ton of professional poker players either come from being pro Magic players,
Okay.
or they are pro Magic players. Yeah, like they come from being a pro Magic player, and then they end up being a professional poker player, or vice versa.
Okay.
Just because it's like the same, it's game theory, game strategy, like, you know, like all that different type of stuff, like not counting cards, but like knowing what is there and all that kind of stuff. So it's very similar, very like high IQ type of stuff. And it's not as intense as poker because you know we don't put, you know, thousands of dollars on the line, but you know, your pride's on the line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
We got to get Jared Blez into Magic then.
100%.
The ultimate hobby guy.
Yeah. I've tried. It's. I think it's when you're deep in the hobby like that, it's really hard to take on another hobby. You know,
True.
it really
I
is.
feel that. Yeah.
Like even with me with Magic, it's like I can't imagine collecting. Like collecting is probably one thing, but like really getting deep into anything else, I'm like, dude, I
True.
can't get behind it. You know what I mean? I got a business to run. It's just too much stuff.
That's how I feel like when I did sports a lot, and then
Uh-huh.
I started doing Star Wars, and I was like, I gotta pick one.
Yeah.
I can't have like a really good sports collection and a really good Star Wars collection. I gotta like dive deep and really.
It's a lot. It's a lot
Really
to like
put
try and
into
keep
one.
track of the two. Like it's like keeping track of two different markets is
Yep.
how I would say. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
what did you end up going with? Did you end up going the Star Wars route? Yeah.
I'm building pretty nice.
Pretty
Star Wars
sick Star Wars. And
collection,
Star
yeah.
Wars has been going crazy. I saw
Dax? Matt?
Daps. That one that he
his
flipped,
card,
that huge card he flipped. That was
100,000, the Jedi a la Kurosawa.
Yeah, I think he said he got it for like 5K or something like that. 5K, 10K.
He paid 16.
16. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Times 5 is money.
That's
Times
crazy.
5 or 6 or
In
whatever.
less than 2-3 years, I think.
Sick.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
crazy.
you know, I mean, I knew obviously Star Wars. We were just talking about one of the biggest IPs, but that's huge growth. You know, so good for him.
Yeah. And I think it's just a matter of getting enough people behind seeing the importance of it. Like
Yeah.
that specific set was the first of its kind, and it's going to be really popular from now on. So it's that person who purchased it believes that it's going to be a set that's going to continue over the decades, and then people are going to look back and go, that was the grail.
That was the
that's
one.
The grail.
Is that the one? You think that's the one?
Like first set Yu-Gi-Oh, first base set
Yeah,
Pokemon, like
yeah.
you go back, no one knew it was going to turn into what it is today 20 years later.
100%.
So you hold on to
100%.
those first ones.
There's no way
Yeah.
Star Wars is going anywhere. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's another beautiful thing
No
about
matter how
stuff
hard
like
Disney
this.
tries.
See, that's what worries me sometimes.
Yeah, it's all right.
And I think that's why Pokemon is always still going to be safe, because Pokemon has just always like stayed true to Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
and themselves, and they stay out of everybody's business.
They do.
So-
They do. And I saw an interview with the CEO, and he's like, dude, they have a business plan for the next 30 years. 30 years. You know, when I made a business plan for Cash Cards Unlimited, I made a 5-year business plan.
Yeah,
and that's
same.
typical when you start a business, 5-year business plan. 30-year business plan. They are set to run for the next 30 years.
That's insane.
Crazy, right? And Pokemon 30-year anniversary is coming up like next year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
So, what are the plans for the shop? And well, tell us a little bit about how many shops you have, and what are your plans for the future?
Right now we have 2 shops. We have this one here in Topanga, and then we have another one in Thousand Oaks at Jan's Marketplace. And honestly, like I really just wanted to have, the premier shops here in the Valley where I grew up. I grew up in Simi Valley, so I wanted to have the premier shops in the area. That shop I told you about, Hidden Fortress and See Me's still there, and I never wanted to mess with See Me because I love those guys over there, and I never wanted to like, you know, I want them to keep that. They established that, and that's where it all started for me. So I went TO a little further out, and then I came out here to the Valley. And you know, my plans for the shop is just to keep building our online presence. Really, you know, the TikTok streams and working with people like Walmart and just doing collaborations with people and just growing the brand that way. You know, if there's opportunities for new shops, then we'll look at it. But opening shops is a lot.
I
You
know.
know, it's like it's
Yeah.
a lot of money. You know, you got to fill it up with all this nice stuff and
Yeah.
employees and stuff. So, yeah, I feel really good about where we're at, and I'm super proud of the shop. So, yeah.
Two things I really love about what he just said is he opened up in his hometown. I think that's a big part of my story is
Yeah.
how I love cards as a kid, but
Yeah.
I lived in South Central LA.
Yeah.
To this day, there aren't very many card shops around the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that I can ever help and kind of, I don't want to say fix, but like figure something out where I can expose more kids in the area that I grew up
Yeah.
into what we do.
Yeah.
Because it's brought me so much happiness.
Yeah.
But also being very transparent about, hey, this is a hard thing to do.
Well-
Opening a card shop is not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, it's expensive, and then you also have to, you know what I mean? You got to pick like good areas to be
Yes.
in to where your business can be profitable. So,
And you gotta
I-
get good people. Yeah.
honestly, the number one most frustrating part about owning a shop or just running a business in general has been like people, you know, because you can't do anything alone. It's like having
Yep.
it's like having a team, you know. If you got shitty teammates, like, you know what I mean. Whether
can't be
you're the
the
greatest
savior.
player ever,
Yeah.
if the rest of your teammates are trash, like everybody's gonna say like you guys are trash, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful. My team is awesome. I have a bunch of amazing people that work for us, and you know, but it is a grind. You know, you just got to keep finding new people as you grow and stuff like that. So it's been good. I'm super blessed and very, very grateful.
Okay, so what's your absolute favorite part of this shop?
That's it. I mean, it's honestly a tough question. I think this shop is it's amazing for me. I love coming in here. I live like very close by, so I
Nice.
come in here all the time. But I think the part that I really love to come in and see is the art over here. You know, you got two of the GOATs in their respective sports, and Ohtani. You know, my son's a huge fan of Ohtani, and the art's done by one of my best friends in the world, and he's super talented, and he's actually one of the first people that believed in cash cards and invested. So
Very cool.
this is I just love walking in here and seeing, especially this Ohtani one, man. Like, I don't know, it hits hard. The dragon in the background just kind of goes crazy, and then, you know, I played with Tom, and he's just always such a good dude, like down to earth, and you know, he's the GOAT. You know,
Yeah.
so.
And
it's
now
dope.
he's opening up shops, so that's even cooler.
Crazy,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like when we did this, he didn't. When we put this up, he had no shops.
Yeah.
He had no shops, and I had no idea he was getting into it or anything. Now he's got like 8 shops or something like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but I mean, so good for the hobby. So, yeah. And then obviously Kobe. You know what I mean? Can't go wrong with Kobe. Black Mamba, Mamba
in LA.
mentality. Yeah. So
Very cool.
these are definitely my favorite parts. I come in here and just like, I just always look to these pieces when I walk in.
Now, I was really excited about the way that you explain magic, and even though we both agree that we're doing a lot, and it's
Yeah.
maybe not the best time to get into something crazy, but
Yeah.
maybe I think it'd be cool to learn the game.
Okay.
So how would you help me get started? Like, what could I buy?
Okay, so an easy way to get started is just getting 2 pre-constructed commander decks, and then just kind of winging it from there. The other thing is, shout outs to there's a YouTube channel called Command Zone.
Okay,
They have a gameplay series called Game Nights, where they really make it easy to like digest how you play the game, because they break down all the moves and stuff, and like that's a great channel to go check out to like learn the game. Because like I think how I learned the game was watching it, and then you play it, because you're gonna make mistakes when you play, which is totally fine. Like, it's still a fun game even if you're messing up. So I think we'll get you 2 commander decks.
Okay.
Maybe you could play with your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, what does that look like?
I'll show you. They're over here. The magic section's over this way.
See, that's even more you know, I'm a mom, obviously,
Yeah,
and being able to figure out something that I can play with my kids on a whim and not just us sit and watch TV when I'm home, I
Exactly.
think is even more exciting to me, though.
this is
too.
actually perfect right here. This is, so it's not quite Commander. Commander's like a certain format. These are smaller decks. This is gonna be like easier for them to like process, less cards for them to see, and they're the same thing. It's just like a starter kit. This is like the perfect way for you to teach somebody 2 decks. You can play 1v1. It's really, really easy.
Cool. Okay.
You know?
Yeah, my husband's a nerd too, so maybe he'll like to do
Yeah,
this.
I feel like
It's better than
that's a
watching
great
TV,
bonding
right?
experience. You know,
Yeah.
a little date night, a little Magic the Gathering date night. Sounds like a good time. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Thank you for your time.
Of course,
Thank you
thanks for
having
coming
us.
out. I appreciate it.